Welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about travel day tips, so let's get into it. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about travel day tips and tricks. One of the biggest things that people get a little bit nervous about with RVing, whether it's a travel trailer or a fifth wheel or a Class A diesel pusher, it doesn't matter, is the travel days. The travel days can be stressful, or they can be extremely fun depending on how well you're prepared for it, how well you're set up for it, and how everybody's basically feeling to get the trip done. Traveling from your home to a campground just for the weekend, or doing multiple night stops, heading all the way down south to go to Florida for 6 months. They all have their stresses, but they also all have their fun. So I'm just going to get into a top 5 of what my travel day tips would be. So I would think number 1 is check the route and double check your hookup on your trailer, your truck, your Class A, whatever your rig is. Double check the mechanics of it. Every rig is different. There's a different hookup procedure for almost every rig out there, whether it's a bumper pull, Class C, Class A, fifth wheel, whatever. I'm not going to get into the specifics of hooking up because it's your rig. And you should know how to hook up your rig because it is yours. I want to get into the route planning, and just to double check to make sure you have the systems in place to be able to make your day trip enjoyable, or your travel day enjoyable. So one of the biggest things for me is having a good GPS. I personally use the Garmin. It's the Garmin 770 RV. I'm pretty sure it's 770. It's an older version. There's all kinds of new ones now, but the best thing about it is it's an RV specific GPS. I can put in my height, my width, my weight, all that stuff for the trailer into the GPS, and then it guides my routes based on that information. So it's very much like a tractor trailer style app. Very simple to use, and honestly, it's never steered me wrong. It gets me the routes that I want. And honestly, it takes away a lot of the driving stress because I'm following a GPS that works well for me, and it's never steered me wrong. Another one I would do on a regular travel day, at least number 3, is throw about a quarter tank or a third of a tank of water into your freshwater tank on your trailer. Don't fill it right up. You don't need to fill it right up because you're just hauling around extra weight for no reason. But throw some water in there so you have water for when you have to make stops. If it's if you want to use the washroom, or if your spouse or the kids need water to wash their hands, whatever, you have some water on board, and it's a convenience thing. On top of that, it can also lead into a safety thing where if you do have to stay somewhere overnight, whether it's a parking lot, a Walmart, whatever the case may be, you have some water on board. So it can be a safety thing as well. It's a simple little thing. It makes life so convenient, and plus you can go into your rig and use your washroom instead of going into washrooms at restaurants or truck stops or whatever. You have your own washroom with you. Number 4, go over your rig from top to bottom every time you stop. Check everything. Check your tires, check your rims, check how your hitch is hooked up. I know that a lot of times when we pull off on the side of the highway to go to a rest stop or whatever, everybody needs to get out and stretch. For you as the driver, get out, check your rims, check your tires, make sure there's no uneven wear, make sure the rims aren't overheating, check all those things over, because then you can get back into your rig and do the next leg of the trip without having to think about it. Another one that I personally would recommend to everybody would be some type of tire pressure monitoring system. I know there's some people out there that don't feel a need for it. I personally think it is an absolute. And in my fifth wheel, which is a double axle fifth wheel, it's 38 feet long, and it is my house, having those sensors on my tires to tell me what the pressures are and what the temperatures are of all those tires allows me to drive and focus on the drive and not wondering how my tires are doing. The tire pressure monitoring system tells me the status of my tires. I personally love it. I don't think I would ever go without it, to be absolutely honest. My final thing is, this is kind of what my wife and I do when we're traveling down south or back north at the end of the winter, is we try to do the rule of 3. Now, the rule of 3 is very simple. We try to travel 300 miles ish, 300, 325 miles per day max. We want to arrive at our next stop or campground no later than 3 p.m. That gives us lots of time to set up in daylight, to do any kind of work on the rig that we need that we may require daylight. And when you're arriving in a park you've never been before, it's nice to be able to pull in daylight, so you're not panicking about trees or branches or rocks or whatever. It's just it's a nice relaxed way to get to your next campground. And the final part of the 3 is stay for 3 days. And what I mean by 3 days is you arrive on one day, you stay for one day, and then you depart on the 3rd day. So you're really only staying for 2 nights, and you're really only there for 2 full days, but it's a 3-day kind of stop. Having that 1 full day in the middle is great for if there's any work you need to do on your rig. If you want to go get fuel without having your rig attached, things like that. That's what's nice about that day. And from a family perspective or a vacation perspective, you can use that day to research that area, and you may find some things that you might look at it and go, well, I really want to see this the next time I come down here. So the next time we come this way, I want to stay for 3 or 4 days and go see these attractions, right? So having that day is great for research. So that's the rule of 3. So that's my top 5 for a travel day. There's all kinds of other little tips and tricks for travel days, and the more you do it, the more comfortable you will become with it, and you'll develop your own individual rules on how you like to travel. I have friends that want to get from point A to point B as fast as they can, and if that means they drive for 10 hours and get fuel and drive for 5 more hours, that's what they do. Everybody makes their own choices. I just don't do it that way. The rule of 3 works for me. So that's some of my RV travel day tips. Hopefully some of them will work for you. Hopefully it'll give you some ideas for the future. And stick around to the channel. There's going to be more RV videos coming up in the future. Thanks a lot. Cheers.